After explaining, okay, what is blockchain, type of blockchains, capabilities, I would like to explain you the main benefit from my point of view that it gives you this kind of technology. First of all, 100% control of everything that is happening on the process. As we said, blockchain, I will say that these benefits are focused on a B2B case, B2B use case, business. And then you will have 100% control of what's happening between you and your suppliers and clients. It gives you the end-to-end traceability of what's happening. It helps company a lot to reduce time and cost, because as you can imagine, the reconciliation that you are performing each time you have the traceability, it's wonderful. I mean, a lot of big companies, they are expending too much money in big teams in reconciliation. Then this technology will help you to do this reconciliation in real time. And this is something very important, that all the information and all this data that we have on the blockchain, they will be trusted data in real time. And of course, the security in any transaction. And when we say trusted data, I want to add that this is because the suppliers and clients and all the different participants are working with the same consensus, with the same rules. Every time that someone is publishing or posted something and registering something on the blockchain is because it's following the consensus applied in the network. And that's why you know that all the data that you are using, you know, is trusted. And some one of you can think about, yes, but you can lie. Yes, of course you can lie. However, if we will have a dispute between you and your supplier, from my point of view, it's not very clever to lie in this kind of technology, because you won't be able to delete it. Okay, then the dispute will be easy. Something also that I think it's very important to understand, that we will see on the next slide also, is this kind of technology is a perfect match with IoT or other technology. I mean, blockchain is a backend technology. We don't have to forget this is a backend. However, depending on the use case, it can help you to increase your business model from a front perspective. And because it's a backend, that it helps you to have those data trusted and organized in real time, you can join with different technology. And also you can join, for example, with IoT. Imagine a use case where you want to register evidence about the temperature of the medicines. Then you will connect those temperatures, IoTs, with the blockchain in order to register as an evidence. Also, it will give you compliance with the regulations. You can show and you can help company to be more compliant, because everything, all those processes will be organized with those evidence. Then all the information that we have, it will be very digital audit. You will have all the audit in a very agile way, and it will be very easy to manage, okay, because you won't need to have those departments behind in operational reconciliation, and you will have everything organized, traced, and trusted. As like I say, another benefit, as I was saying before, is, okay, I have the blockchain. Depending on the use case, you can use AI, IoTs, or other technologies. However, it's important to understand why, because when you are taking those data in real time, you can take those data and to use the AI, for example, and to start giving a lot of business perspective models to help your company to grow, or to know better your client, or to start knowing better the time, how long your company is taking to do a specific process, and how, if you are efficient or not. For example, because of this technology, we were able in Mexico to identify that in real time, some doctors, they were trying to ask their insurance company for the invoice because they were saying that they were giving, they were on the theater operating at the same time in different cities at the same time, and cities where you can have more than 500 kilometers away of distance. No, then because of this blockchain technology, we were able to have those data organized in real time, and in real time we were able to use this in AI to do the analysis. Okay, now I would like you to know, as I said, I don't want you to have like a very technical lesson, but a little bit of specific terms like share layer, smart contract, privacy, and the consensus. We have already seen the consensus, the privacy. I also explained during with the private network, and we are going to focus a bit of smart contract. What is a smart contract? This is important to explain because when I started using, when I started in Blognitive and I started being in love with this technology, I remember to go to my family and friends and trying to explain them what was the technology about and everything. And it was funny to see how they thought that a smart contract, they were a contract, a digital contract. And this is something that you need to understand, that no, and a smart contract is a digital code which is used to exchange assets. It could be share, it could be money, it could be property, without the need for any intermediate. Or also, this smart contract can be these rules that they will happen automatically. When something is happening, you will start a new action, and that will be the smart contract. They will do it. They will have the different rules of the contract, of the rules that you want to perform, and in an automatized way, the smart contract will work in, and they will automate the process. In a technical terms, it is an automated or self-executing contract that holds the agreement between two parties using a code. This smart contract is distributed, and the smart contract is, of course, decentralized and as completely transparent, 100% transparent. As we can see here on the picture, how does it work? A party codes the smart contract, a party codes the smart contract, but both parties, this is important. That's why the data that we have on the blockchain is trusted, because both parties finalize the smart contract rules. Then both of them, or all the ecosystem, will be glad and will be happy with the rules that they have signed in the smart contract, and they have decided that the process is going to work. Then those contracts, they go to the layer, they start working, and it's stored in the blockchain. And the contract will automatically execute when the conditions are met. For example, if you are tracing a supply chain order, and you have received the order, you have been received the order that the supplier has sent to you, you can have a smart contract saying that when I confirm that I have received the goods on my wholesale store, please send 1,000 euros to the supplier. Then this will be the rule that it will be codified on the smart contract, and that will be 100% automatized sent to the supplier, without the need that a manually or a person do this execute this order of the 1,000 payment. Okay, which are the benefits? It's 100% secure because it's no need for manually execution, and it's something very interesting. It's autonomous. it's trustless, it's very cost effective, and it's very fast. Then you can have something very important, depending on the use case and depending also on the maturity of the market. You can have very smart contract, very easy, very simple, or you can have very complex smart contract. From my experience at the moment, the market is using very simple smart contracts in terms of certify specific evidence on the blockchain. And some of them, they are starting using those smart contracts to start to automatize a second or a third process, which is going after the main process. However, the market is getting more mature and mature, and things are happening, things are growing, companies are start using more and more those kind of technology. However, that's the good of blockchain. Blockchain allows you to go very farther and very deeply in automation. However, there is a lot of cultural wall that you need to tackle before all the companies are using. From my point of view, blockchain and those smart contract technology is going to be used in a massive way. If you want to have a similar example as a personal opinion, is like cloud. 10 years ago, all the companies, they were saying that they didn't want to use cloud because their information is going to be less secure and all those arguments. However, nowadays, it's very weird not to find a company that they are using cloud because of the cost reduction, because of the AI, and security also, they are very secure. Okay, here, something also that I wanted to give you, it's, as I was saying, is a little bit of example in order that you understand that a smart contract, it's, as we were saying, is the inclusion of the logic in the blockchain, is this codification. And depending, they can have different characteristic depending on the blockchain network. But I wanted to focus on the technology. I mean, you can be developers of a smart contract, but depending on the blockchain, you will need to use different programming languages. For example, if you want to develop an hyperlayer smart contract, you will need to use the programming language as we call Node.js or Go. However, if you are using, if you want to develop a smart contract in a public network as Ethereum or as Polygon, we use the programming language called Solidity. There are other languages, but the main ones are those: Go for hyperlayer and Solidity for those public. Okay, after this, a little bit of introduction of what is blockchain, this kind of blockchain, what is a smart contract. I think here I'm going to show you how you can access to a blockchain network, but a little bit more of this is more for a private use case. Okay, and the most important thing is, as I can highlight it in the left side of the slide, is depending on the technological maturity of the company, they will have different options to access to the blockchain. The first access that you can have is, as I said in the example before, is that all the participants, they have their own node. That means that the maintenance of one own node as a part of the network, the node permission will be specified by the network manager, and this manager can be client that develop this blockchain network. That means that you are, for example, on the supply chain example, you are, I would say, one of the supplier, and you want to have your own node. That means that you will be part of this ecosystem for example, with Carrefour. However, then all the transactions that you will perform with Carrefour, they will go through this node. But because you have a node, and this is something that allows you, this is another difference between public and private blockchain. When you are working in something very interesting in the private blockchain is that when you are doing this kind of use case, and I have my own node, I have different channels. Then I can have one channel for Carrefour, another channel for Decathlon, another channel for Walmart, another channel for another supermarket. Then, but I have my own node and those different channels, and every transactions that I'm performing with my different client is going to be registered in the different nodes. For example, if I don't want to have a node, I can interact in the ecosystem with an API access. Okay, there will be normally all those platforms and all those solutions that are on the market. They are created with access API calls. Then you can connect your own information system with those API calls, and you can be part of the ecosystem. What's the different about you have your own node and your API access is that if you are working with an API access, you only can work, for example, in the Carrefour use case with Carrefour, but you cannot work with Walmart or another different commercial center. However, of course, you can work if they invite you to connect your API access to all of them, but it will be something in a very separate way. And at the end is to have access by multi-account or multi-access node. That's if you have your node, that will help company to be much more efficient. If you are only a participant where you send information, that can help you to automate and be more efficient. But the efficient, as much node and as much work you are performing on your own node and you are doing transactions with your different clients, your cost efficiency will be higher. Okay, and finally, after giving you a snapshot of what is blockchain, that different components and different networks and everything, I want you to have my perspective on the market of blockchain. From my point of view, there is three different blockchains levels. First one, as I call exchange or ICOs. Second one, the NFTs. And the third one, those where you are B2B use cases or B2B2C use cases. Okay, what are the differences between them? It's hilarious and enormous, those differences. And nowadays, I would say that people only really know these first two levels of blockchain, the exchange ICOs and the NFTs. These third level is the less common on the population. And I think it's quite normal. Yeah, it is like this. Okay, what is an exchange? Crypto and ICO. What is an exchange crypto? There's those companies that allow you to exchange your fiat money. Fiat money, we call they are your normal money, can be dollars, can be euros, can be yens, your normal country money, for cryptocurrency. In addition to being able to trade in the digital market by creating your own wallet. This is something that I also wanted you to explain. When you want to invest in cryptos, I'm not going to encourage anyone to invest in cryptos. I think this is a personal decision. First of all, you need to understand a little bit how does it work before you invest, and later on. And the only advice I would say is never trust your neighbor. You can lose a lot of money. Also, you can earn, but better that you get a little bit of knowledge about how does it work before investing. These companies, when you invest cryptos, I would say you have two kinds of ways of investing. You can invest with your own wallet, which will be a pen drive, and you will connect 100% directly to the blockchain network. What's the issue? Could be the issue of that is that if you lose your pen drive, you will lose all your money. Then, from my personal advice, I would recommend to have this pen drive if you are investing a lot of money, but you have to take care a lot of this pen drive. And this pen drive should be very, very much more important than whatever, anything else. But you have another way to invest. And here I've shown you the main 5 exchange cryptos that you can find in the market. That is Binance, FTX, KuCoin, Coinbase, and Kraken, where you create your own wallet in a Web 2.0 perspective, where you upload some information about you, your identity card, some information, your email, and you can invest money there. You can transfer fiat money to there, and you will trade for cryptocurrency. What is the main difference between the pen drive investment way that I explained before is that in the pen drive you won't have those commission that those crypto exchanges they will you will have to pay. And also, and I think very important also difference is that if you don't remember your user and your password to go into this exchange crypto, you can ask for them and you can change it. It have a specific process, a little bit more tough than maybe a recover password from Google. But however, you have the change. However, if you lose your pen drive, you don't have this change to recover it, and you will lose your money. In that case, no. And then it's something funny, you know, we are investing in a decentralized world, but maybe 75%, 80% of the population are using these centralized companies to invest in a decentralized world. Okay, and the ICO. An ICO is a very innovative system of raising funds for projects through an utility token that you create for your own project. And the most benefit is you are able to create a utility token that you will show to the market with a white paper. People will trust on your white paper, they will trust on your project, they will invest in this utility token. From a financial perspective, it's very good because as a company, you won't have to give equity. You only will have to give a token. And this token is, in that case, is nothing from the company. They will distribution of your token worldwide among potential users, and your product will work decentralized market. That will help you a lot to finance, not only maybe in your country, but to be able to show your project in a very worldwide perspective. Here, in my professional career, we have been performed during the last year around 12 ICOs, and it's a very interesting process, and I really recommend you, if you have the opportunity, to look for them. And if you have an idea, why not try to create your own company and to do your own ICO? Later, I was saying the NFT. What is an NFT? NFT is a token with the blockchain ecosystem that offer you a property, title, or right to the owner. Something very important that we do not have to forget is that an NFT is a utility token. Then, as the name of the token is said, NFT makes sense only if there is an utility behind the NFTs. Okay, the main characteristic is that it's unique, indestructible, verifiable, and freehold. But as I say, for me, from my personal view, NFT, they made sense on the market, and we will see in the future why they are making sense, but you will have to have a utility behind it. For example, from my point of view, those NFT of monkeys that they are selling it, some people, they believe that they do not make any sense to pay too much money for those kind of NFTs. But some other people, they decide to pay it. And this is because they are being part of a community, a very specific community, very rich community, that they will allow them to have better network, maybe to do business, or to spend time with those people that maybe without those NFTs, they won't be able to do it. Maybe it's not the best example, but from my point of view, this kind of NFT, they have an utility. You will like it or you won't like it, but there is a utility behind it. And nowadays, also, we are seeing some NFTs in the music market. I don't know, I think you can find those utility in order to attract ecosystem, to create a better community in your company, in your business. I think it's not easy. That's why website as OpenSea, we can see a lot of hundreds and thousands NFTs that, from my personal view, they are not very useful. However, I think this is a tool that now with the metaverse and this new digital business, they will still growing. Maybe not so fast and so with those scalability that we have had during the last year, because everything, it seems that everything was possible. No? When you create an NFT, I'm going to draw a dog, I'm going to be rich. This is not like this. But we will see in the future, from my perspective, that a lot of business that they will use NFTs as a very powerful channel to connect with their community and to connect with more clients. And finally, I'm going to focus on the B2B perspective. B2B business. This is quite, seems to be a very long path, no, to understand when you use blockchain or no blockchain. However, from my point of view, it's easy. There are 4 steps that you decide to use. Well, the main thing is, when you decide to use the blockchain in a B2B use case, you need to look for, okay, is there more participants in this process? Yes or no? If it's yes, okay, blockchain made sense. That's evidence, or that's data that I'm going to share, need to be certified under third parties, under against regulation, something like this. Yes or not? If it's yes, okay, then blockchain makes sense. Sensitive identifiers will not be right into the data store. If it's yes, I need blockchain. If it's not, I can consider other kind of database that you don't need blockchain. Are there entities with right access having a hard time deciding who should be in control of the data? Yes or not? I mean, if there is, you need to have this trust. Blockchain is the best way. And as you can see, everything is related to the trust, to the consensus between different parties. But I will say that not only this kind of trust and important trusted data, it's very important. But I will say also, in order to automatize your business, your processes, and I'm going to go one step forward, in order to know more about the future of your process, then blockchain, it's the unique technology that allows you to share your data with third parties in real time. That means that in real time, the different participants, they will register data on the blockchain, and you will be able to analyze it in real time. And this is one of the most important thing of this technology. Fourth step to decide on a strategy. First of all, well, positive indicators, negative indicators, as you can see. Positive is managing contractual relationship, try to solve complex business logic. The identity of the participants is very important. Transaction need to be private or not. If it's private, yes, it makes sense when we are talking about business. More than two parties, then you can think now, okay, this professor is saying I cannot use blockchain if I'm only one party. I'm not saying that. You can use blockchain if you are only one party, but you could use also other technologies. Maybe for the use case that you have in mind, it made sense to start using blockchain because maybe in the future it will allow you to do more things. However, blockchain made more sense if there is two parties. But if you want to certify something, you can use a public network, and you can register something. For example, a title of the, for example, this master can be registered, and maybe it's only using for the, his only master set that is using this registration on the blockchain, and that way. If you are looking to reduce cost, as I say, cost and time, this is very important because you are reducing. The truth is that you are reducing time of your headcount. That means that you are reducing costs because you need less employees. Then, for example, the country, this cost of the employee can be very low, it can be very high, not only their salary, but also the social security cost. This, for example, here, I'm from Spain, and every employee, the company has to pay around 35% more regarding your salary to the government. Then imagine if I'm able to reduce a department, 50% of the department, and could be a very significantly reduced cost for the company. And also something important, that if we want to start discover more about how your process is working, because you will have those data in real time, then you will be able to start looking for different business action to solve potential problems, or to continue growing your business with different and new business model. Negative indicators that we need to take into account. If you need high performance of the blockchain, the performance of the blockchain, it's the measure. In order to measure it, it will be depending on the milliseconds transaction that you need for the use case. Normally in the B2B sector, you don't have these kind of problems. You will have more maybe on the financial sector with the banks. As we were saying, there is no business network, one organization involved. There is no really blockchain technology sense, but it could be used. Maybe if you want to put that technology to be more aggressive with your employees, as you want to show them that they cannot steal you or something like this, depending on the country. A lot of things are happening. Maybe later on, when we will talk about use cases, I can let you know some things I have learned in countries like Mexico or Colombia, and now I'm also working in Nigeria. It's also very interesting. No? Culture, it's very different across the country, across the world, and also businesses. And if you are only thinking to replace a database, because blockchain is a backend, as we're saying, is a database, doesn't have sense. You need to think on looking for something more specific. And the fourth step that we normally work with companies is, okay, we try to find a specific opportunity. We try to explore with the client how this technology will help them to resolve their pain point. If there is not a pain point, it would be very difficult. Then we try to do a prototype, a POC, proof of concept. And if everything is good, we try to scale our efforts appropriately. This is how, for example, in Blognitive, we work with our client. We do a strategic advisory, we identify the opportunity, we go to the client, we develop a business case with them. We decide the roadmap definition and we show them the platform that we have created, and we advise them which network platform they need to use depending on their use case. We do the POC, and later on, if everything is successful, we go and we implement all those solutions. And the most important thing is we integrate those use case with the system, because as I was saying, is you need the data is coming from somewhere. No, blockchain is not taking data from nowhere. It's taking data from IoTs, SAP, different another CRM or whatever. No, and you need to connect this blockchain solution. You need to connect with those different information system that is going to bring you all the information data along the participants. They will help you to create this traceability. Here I've decided to give you 8 different points that, from my point of view, make a good enterprise use cases. First of all, a business problem that cannot be more efficiently solved with other technology. I mean, blockchain is not the only technology in the market. As I said, depending on the use case, we will decide if blockchain is the most useful. I'm so sorry if I'm trying to repeat too many times this, but I think it's very important, because I can see on the market with my competitors that they want to sell whatever use case to the market with blockchain. I mean, and it doesn't have sense. A recognizable business network with members, resources, and transactions. That's, I agree, but if we are focused more on a B2B use cases, of course, it doesn't make sense that you are creating a use case for B2C and you are using your own network. The scalability of this case, from my point of view, would be none. Then you should go to a recognizable business network. For example, it could be Polygon, could be Matic, could be, from my point of view, I would use Ethereum or Polygon. The main difference between them, one of them is first layer, second one is second layer, and the cost, it's very, very different. In Polygon, the cost, I don't remember now, but I think it's from 10 cents to 1 or 5 euros maximum. And Ethereum, you can pay 1,000 euros. You need a need for trust. Sometimes when I say that, I can feel it that because I don't trust on my supplier, I will use blockchain. No, but the truth is that it will help company to have less dispute with suppliers with the reconciliation process. I hope that you can feel during my presentation is that blockchain that really helps you to reconcile whatever process we are doing. Then now you can imagine on the companies that you are working on, you know, those reconciliation processes, how long does it take for them, how much money they spend on specific teams. Also to know who are the business network contributors involved. If there's no business network involved, of course, there's not a good case. Who are the specific people with the organization, what are their job roles? This is very important. When you are doing a process, like everything in life, one of us, we have to have a specific role. For example, in the supply chain, someone is the client, someone is the supplier, another one is the distributor. Then you need to explain them, okay, your role in this blockchain is to certify the distribution. How? Okay, when you take the goods, when you travel, for example, with a GPS, we are going to track all your information. when you deliver it, maybe you take a picture and you will send it and you will certify to see, okay, I've taken it in the company, I've been traveling for 200 kilometers with the goods, I deliver in the supermarket, and I took a picture on the origin, I took a picture on the delivery. As I can see, I giving the product, I'm delivering the product in a very excellent manner and with a good quality. This is very important, and it's very important to specify the roles of each participant on the chain. Also, it's important what are the main steps in the current workflow and how this executes by the business network participant. As I'm explaining, when you are doing a business traceability process, how will you work? You will perform, you will decide, and you will configure the different milestones of the process. You will configure and decide which evidence are going to add value to the process for all of us during the milestones. And the most important thing is, depending on the role, and this role can be a human, or can be an application, or can be an IoT, will certify those evidence. Also, to understand what is the expected benefit of applying blockchain technology to the business. For example, what are you exactly looking for? Now in Blocknative, we are working we are certifying renewables energy in order to help company to know that the energy that they are consuming every kilowatt hours energy is going to be certified by not only by how they made it, also taking into account some Europe regulation about the sustainability and governance and the participants. Then this is very important that, okay, I'm doing this use case, what will be the benefit for the world, what will be the benefits for the company, what will be the benefits. This is very important, because if you don't have clear what will be the benefits, maybe you don't need to do this use case with blockchain. Maybe you can do something similar or in parallel that will give you another benefit, but because you didn't know which benefit you were looking for, you don't know if those are the good benefits. And later, and the last point is to know the legacy system, how many systems are involved. As I said, blockchain, it's a backend technology that it will be they will be fed with information from a lot of different systems. Then you need to have clear this map of systems that will be needed to have this good enterprise use case. And here, in order to finish this part, this first block of the lesson, I wanted you to have a snapshot of different sectors and different blockchain use cases that they are being doing during the last years. My idea is on the next part of the lesson is to give you much more details, to explain you which were the problems that the company they wanted to solve, which were the benefits that they were able to solve using this technology. And I have prepared a use case around different sectors because I want you to know that blockchain is very helpful, not only for financial sector or insurance sector. It's helping all the sectors that have more participants in the process or products that need to be certified and traced. Then here, those snapshots there has been money transfer payments, and with blockchain, there's cross-border payments, data management, They have been medical history digitalization, digital entity creation. This digital entity is something that they did not have the last of the best digital entity creation. They are working on them. Supply chain management. This is something that is very helpful, and blockchain made a lot of sense in all the supply chains. Trade finance, real estate tokenization, smart contract development. You can perform a use case only with a smart contract. The problem of that is that sometimes could be very difficult to understand for the customer. Then companies as Blocknative, the thing that we do is to create different products to have them to abstract them from the complexity of this technology and the smart contract. And they won't see how a smart contract is developing, because me, after being here for more than 3 years, I still don't understand how a smart contract is working, because I'm not programming and I don't like it. Business process automation, digital currency creation. This is, of course, as we were explaining to you guys, or the ICO, you can digital currency in terms of country, or digital currency in terms of a specific project or a specific token. They will allow you to create your own project and to create your own community. And if you are successful, maybe this token will have a good value in the future. Transparency in auditing, for all those use cases. For example, the certification of different certification that has to be compliant with some regulations, that a process has been done according to the law. Then also that can help company, for example, in the financial audit. You can show them in transparency how you are performing your order to cash process and how it has been posting in your SIP system. All the smart contract has been posting all the different invoices. Then it gives you 100% transparency auditing, and the most important thing, in real time. Insurance services, and also in voting system. Those business use cases are business use cases along the worldwide. Then for the next module, we will go deeply for a specific use case that I can specifically explain. And all yours, Beatriz. Wow, that's too long.
Thank you, Miguel. So yes, we will continue on the next lesson with, as Miguel said, going in depth on the business use cases that he showed at the end. So we will see you shortly after. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.